hope you're doing well. I just wanted us just to preview the Simba versus Horoya, or rather Horoya versus Simba, the away game for Simba. And tell me how are the fans in Dar es Salaam? Like, what's the expectation for this game one of the Champions League? Because for them, it's always the group stage, then the quarterfinals. So, what are they really expecting versus a team which they played against them, I think, in 2019, right? In the group stage, if I'm not wrong. It was Al Ahly, AS Vita Club, and Simba and Horoya. So these two teams know each other. They play similarly in terms of build-up, and also they're a possession-based team. So, what are the fans' expectations for the first game?
Okay, the fans' expectations from Dar es Salaam is pretty high because of the way that team has been set up for the Champions League, based on the performances of last seasons, but also the squad at large. It shows that the squad is very competitive, and the fans are believing that the club can earn at least a draw from the away game, in which is going to secure them at least a point, and that will be a great move to the quarterfinal road.
Yeah, and of course there's some managerial changes in Simba. In Horoya, I think they're still coached by Lamin Diaye, who, as I told you before, he won the Champions League with TB Mazembe back in 2010, and he's been coaching this team for, I think, 4 or 5 years now. But in Simba, Juma Mgunda started the season as the coach. He came from Coastal Union, one of the teams that produce a lot of talent in Tanzania. So he was the coach for, I think, 6 months or maybe 4 or 5 months. And then Simba saw the need of bringing Robertinho, who's a Brazilian coach from Vipers. So, like, my question to you is, have you seen any difference in how Simba plays tactically? And also, what are the fans' view, and what's the general view about Robertinho in Tanzania? I think he's only been there for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Okay, Simba had I think for the Simba SC management, the first thing they do believe is bringing the quality players. And once you do have quality players, it's going to be very easy for any coach just to impose his tactics, and the result will be well achieved. So that's what happens with Juma Mgunda. I think he made a very good squad from the beginning of the season after they parted ways with Zoran Maki, and he made a very good squad, and he implemented his methods, his tactics, and the way that he believes the certain team is gonna achieve required results. So I think he is a very good coach. He did what he has to do, and for him, the best thing I think he applied at first, it was a proper motivation to the players, and also the discipline mechanisms, as well as his tactics. And I think that's what Juma did in the first place. So having Robertinho is extra little bit too far on achieving, because you need some extra quality coach with extra tactics to just win you this kind of Champions League games. No doubt about the ability of Juma Mgunda, but the issue came when it comes to a very tough match that you need more than one tactics to achieve a certain positive result in a match, on which I think at some tough game, Juma lacked some of it. I'm not saying he's a very bad coach, but I think from the day he played against Yanga, it shows that there was a need of extra tactics to achieve a positive result, a winning result from the tough match like that. But when also it comes to Azam FC, he lost that match. That means his
Yeah, I
tactics
actually, yeah,
was not
yeah,
strong enough to win
they
that
should have
derby. And
conceded. Yeah, sorry for cutting you. I just wanted to say, like, they should have conceded versus Azam maybe four or five goals. And also, you are talking about the Kariako derby, which finished a draw, right? And Simba should have won the game because they played much better.
yeah, exactly.
Go on,
So
bro. Sorry.
it is where you see when it comes to Champions League games, most of these games, apart from the group stage, from the quarterfinals, these are only one chances game. Like you have chances, you're gonna need to score unless you don't want to progress. So I think it's not a bad idea for the management to bring in Robertinho as long as uh, they are at least pretty sure that he can do what is supposed to be done in Champions League.
Yeah, and I think I'll go off topic a little bit and maybe ask you. Simba have been changing managers every season, almost even when they win the league. Like I think they won the league 4 times in a row, until Yanga last season won it for the first time. So for the first time in like 4 or 5 years. So my question to you is, maybe they need stability. You might think because there's so many players in Simba, the likes of John Boko, who's a legend in the Tanzanian Premier League, all-time goal scorer. These players, maybe they might need stability to help them actually build rather than just reach the quarterfinal of a CAF competition, either be the Confederation or the Champions League. Then the manager loses his job, or as because the real objectives is to reach the semi-final. So my question to you is, off topic, do you think Simba might need to maybe keep Robertinho, or maybe the next manager should be given more than 1 year?
Okay, as I told you, the great thing about the club is bringing in quality players. So if you do have quality players, then you can have a coach who can fit on turning that group of players into a great team. So I'm not sure if Robertinho can stay for more than 1 year. I'm not sure because I haven't seen him. He's in the tough games. What's his decisions gonna be? How the team is gonna move? How the way he wants the team to play. So it's gonna be tough. And sometimes the toughness comes in the selections of players. When you do have best players in your squad, you have the best players on the bench. Your decisions of combining them and make sure you get the desired result is what's going to make you stay in a certain club for a longer period. So Robertinho, I believe, is a good coach or a result-oriented coach, and if he keeps that and achieve the required results by the management, by the fans, I think he might be staying for a long period of time.
Okay, you said that he's a result-oriented coach because there are certain clubs in the world that, even in African football, where, like last night, because we're recording it after the game of Al Ahly versus Real Madrid, you can't really expect Al Ahly to sit back and just to defend, or you can't really expect, for example, just the normal, the clubs that we know, like Barcelona. Barcelona are not. You cannot sit back and defend or play on transition or rely on counterattacks or let the opposition outplay you regardless. So for Simba, it's like that. For Simba, is more of they call it Mpira Biriani, which the term can mean possessing the ball, controlling the game, regardless of you playing home or away. So my question to you is, Robertinho, he seems like for him it's just to win the game. It's not about dominating, or it's not about having more of the ball. It's more about winning the game. So how does that sit with the Simba fans, who for them it's about playing football the beautiful way?
Okay, over the last 2 games of Robertinho being in charge, there has been a certain challenge. The first one, it sounds like annoying the fan of how he likes to play with long balls. and surpassing the our midfielders. And it comes to the social media that how does he took Klatus Chama off and blah 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 blah. But the second game of him being in charge, he just make sure that the team goal result. It was away game, but the third game, the Simba fans came out in numbers just to see how he's gonna approach the game. I think it was a home game, and he played pretty well. Simba outshined Singida Big Stars with a lot of quality players and with high quality manager, and they took possession for more than 60% of the game. So you saw that, and you came to realize the nature of the players apart from the directories from the coach, that and the instructions from the coach that maybe you should be playing this kind of balls, but the players like to hold the balls. No one's like to release the ball quickly. Everyone wants to hold the ball, play the ball, be enjoying the balls. So you can see that it's gonna be a good combination when you do have players who like the ball and you do have the coach who likes the results. You see the combination is gonna be very great, and I hope they're gonna march each other.
Yeah, okay. Now let's go back to the topic. We saw that Saido Ntimazongiza is not being included in the team that flies to Guinea, and also Peter Banda, who I think for obvious reasons is because of his long-term injury. So especially Saido, who's been playing for Simba from Gator Gold. My question is, how do you think the absence of Saido Ntimazongiza, because this is a player who's played in Ligue A, he played versus PSG, he's played versus Marseille, he's played versus Lyon. He's a big game player, played for Yanga, went to Gator, and Simba signed him because of his good performances. So how will his absence affect Simba versus Horoya, especially in our away game?
Of course, Saido is a good player, very experienced and result-oriented player, as the numbers present him at Simba, scoring goals, assists, and so many other things, movements and chances creation. He's a very good player, experienced, but as long as he can be part of the team, it means that Simba's gonna miss him. But this is the away game. You're gonna need to be very, very, very defensive minded, because otherwise you can easily concede. And I think Simba coach has to come with a plan which will accommodate other players to fit in the formation. Maybe the change of formation might be suitable, to see how he can accommodate Horoya, so that they won't have a chance at least to score, or even Simba SC create